Hello, whoever is there. About to get started. Need to get a couple of things sorted. Tube. Chat is linked. And bring up two tall TOBY'S practice models. All right, our aim tonight, we're going to do 6 models. We are going to see how fast we can get them done. We'll do a practice run of every model, which will become a community tutorial, and then we'll do a speed run, at least one. Hello, I'd say. How are you, mate? Ah, yes, I thought you might be around. I'd say I was following your, in the tournament that just went, I was following your models, I was having a go at the models with the runners at the same time, and I was pretty quick on most of them, and you and I were neck and neck. It was very close. I think I've got a few of those here. If I can just scroll down. You can see a couple of those models here that I've had a go at. Very neat challenges. I really like this one. I thought this one was pretty neat. The ones that I could have done a bit quicker, I think, than maybe the competitors, particularly this one. I think it was only tier 3, but yeah, that was some good challenges. Hello, Gummy. Nice to catch you. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, very good. So let's see where we're up to. We have at the moment 97 models not completed. So we've got a few that we can get through, have a go at. I want to try and get through the 100 or so models that we've got left in live streams. I think that's the best way to do it. And unfortunately, though, there's only 3 tier 6 models, and there's a few more tier 5 models at least. Plenty of tier 5s. And only a couple of tier 1s, so they'll be done pretty soon. So let's have a go at those. Quick to practice. I will do a sheet metal one tonight. I'll show you guys my sheet metal skills. They're just not as good as the multi-body modeling skills that I have. But with practice, we might do okay. All right, so we'll just test the system out, make sure everything's working, and we do that with a tier 1 model. Open a new window, have to get these sizing of all these right so that we can go ahead and do it. And I'll leave the number there. All right, so this one, plain carbon steel, millimeters. Yeah, sheet metal, it's just a bit different. Just a bit different. Okay, so this one, it's got a flat section. That's annoying. So let's draw that up, up, and around. Straight down. Get the midpoint on the origin. We put our dimensions in. 160 6. And then, is it a consistent wall thickness? No, it's not. We have a straight and then an arc. At least I think the arcs are concentric, but the straight is 18 from the bottom. Midpoint in line with the origin. 55 radius for this one. And then extrude at 3 millimeters. 177 should be the answer. Okay. Nice and easy. Oh, I'm even missing the hole though. It doesn't make a difference. Missing the hole. Whoops. I think we have to change it. I got the answer right with intolerance, but yeah, we want to get that hole right. So if we think if there's a quicker way to do this one, with a slot will be faster. Could be. Probably. Let's hide that. Let's try again. Straight slot. What kind of slot though? Like this. And we put a 6 in, 160. And then we have to put a line. And then we have to do another line and an arc. Get those concentric. But see, it's in line. Is that right? It's not right. Something's happened with that line. This is quite a tricky tier 1. That's going to be 12 from that point. Have I even drawn this correctly? I don't know if that's any quicker. Arc is tangent. And then we need that hole as well. Or seems like a lot of tricky sketching. If I do this, 177 is the right answer, I believe. Yeah. 177 is the answer, so that's right, but same model. I don't like this model at all. Can I offset it? Let's see. So between there and there, 25. So I'd have to do a slot, do an offset, do a line, do the circle. So we go front, we go 160 by 6, we go 4 mil, and we draw offset 25, and we draw a line here and here, and we dimension that from this circle. So you do that sketch, and then you very quickly do your extrude by selecting the contours, and you get the answer. So you have to do the sketch quickly. Now I'm mucking around with the best way to do this sketch is I think it might not be better like this. So 6 by 160, wrong. Try it again. Go down, 6, enter, out, 160, enter, and then 4, and then offset, need to reverse it, and then draw 2 lines. That's neat. And then dimension, 12, extrude, contours, done. All right, so that's the process we'll go through. We'll submit this one and have a go and see what time we can get for the next. Front plane. Let's try again. 3, 2, 1. Front. Sketch down, 6, enter, out, 160, enter. Circle, 4. Line across the bottom. Offset, reverse. Another line. Dimension, 12, extrude. I think I've dimensioned the wrong one. And it's the wrong answer. I have to start again. Cancel. What options should I toggle to show dimensions on slots? Tab taught me this last week, so I'll show you. It's not the best, but when you're on the slot tool, there's this option here, add dimensions. So you tick that box, and then you'll be able to input those dimensions as you're going. Let's try again. 3, 2, 1, go. Front, sketch, down, 6, enter, 160, enter. With a circle on the top. We want to do the offset, reversed. Then we do in our lines, so 1 line from the middle, and 1 line from here. This line, 12 from the origin. Extrude, selecting these bodies, answer, 177, 30 seconds. Submit. And I expect it's quicker than that. You see top, no, that's the quickest. Not bad. It's actually, yeah, complicated for a tier 1. Very good. All right, first one done. Let's get some color on that and screenshot, and then we move on. I've got to save it as well. That is called a practice models steel protractor. How'd you guys go with that? If you dimension the line to the arc instead of the origin, it will save a few seconds. Dimension the line to the arc. I did dimension it to the origin. 2 arcs on top directly connected to the origin, so leverage those. Maybe. Probably. I'm going to move on though. Tier 1 model done. Let's do model number 2. Now this is where, Toby, if you're watching the stream, or anyone developing the website, this needs a button to go back to the practice models without me having to go back or click on practice models again here. Because I want to go back and have my existing filters selected. And I don't want to have to scroll down again to do this. Minor requests. All right, tier 2. Machine part. Not too many tier 2 models. Let's have a look. Shipping corner. Okay, nice little block model. ABS millimeters. So this one, well, we'll just do it first and then we'll look at refining it. Hello, Jern. Good morning or afternoon or evening. Hope you're doing well. We do the top view. I think we do the top view. So we're going 85 by 75. And then I'm coming out here with the slot, which I'm going to draw all the way in. I'm going to draw another line here, trim that off. So this one is here to here 110, radius 18, 27 for this guy. So that's everything I need. Maybe I'll put the circle in too. That's 20. Okay. And then extrude. So we pick our sections. So this section, the highest 66. And then we're going to go this section, the next one, which is 50. And then this last section, which is 33. I think that is our model. We look at our weight then, 395, 396. Correct answer. What do you guys think? That was pretty straightforward. Let's add a material. And let's take a nice picture. All right, so that one is the, what's it called? Shipping corner. All right, how can we refine this and get fast? We want to get under 2 minutes. If we see the time to beat 58 seconds, we've got to shave a minute off the time. I don't think it's much about, I think our sketch was fine. I think the sketch is okay, but I think this is where we can refine it. Make always self-dimensioning rectangles and add the circle instead of slot. The speed difference between, you got to add 2 circles and then selecting those contours versus just sketching the whole outer shape and dimensioning it. The dimensions we need, 85 by 27, 110 by 8 by 36. Let me just change this one. It's going to be a diameter. Yeah, I don't think we can do the extrude stuff any quicker. I think that's fine. I think it's all about the sketch. What's the best process here? Where did I start it? Where's the origin? There. So if we're going, what was that? 85 by 27. So Arte is suggesting we do this, which is 36 by 110 minus 27. And then 2 circles. Yep, that middle one, you don't have to, the outer one, you don't have to dimension. And then from here, what's the dimension of that one? We have to get to 75, which makes it 48 by 49. So then I'm going like that. Self-dimension rectangles out of a circle instead of a slot. Make a construction line for the start of the slot. That one. Turn to construction. Start all from one point. You want to go 3 from the origin, right? So you want to go like here. Yeah, I get you. 85 by 27 we keep. Let's get rid of this one. So that is, yeah, I don't like that one. This can't be from the origin. What about this one? Nah, yeah, okay, I get you. Move that. Move that. So change that one to be 110 by 36. Then we go 36 by 110. Circle 20. Convert. But then what do you want to do? Another square here, which is 85 by 75. Look at how many sections I have to select. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because that construction line still acts as a separator for the contours. So when I go extrude, see, it's not going to select over it. You're going to have to delete it. And then we're under defined. And then we may as well just go like that. $85 by 75. $85 by 27. 36 by 110. Delete. No, don't delete it. Circle. 20. Delete. Trim. Extrude. And then extrude fast. Could be the way to do it. Full round fillet. Too many selections. I don't like all the extra dimensions over the top. I think we're gonna go 85 by 27. I don't mind this one, 36 by 110. Do that and that. Delete, trim, and then line here. And I just got to dimension this one, which is 48. Do that sketch. Could even trim that at the same time. don't select the contours right away. Type in extrude dimension and select the contour. Well, I don't know why would we do that? Trouble is here, I got my mouse for the number pad and the right hand for the number input and the mouse at the same time. So I have to do one first. Or sometimes I'm doing it left-handed. But we'd want to go like 66 and then select. All right. So here's a trick for those that are doing repeat models, like in practice models. You take a screenshot of what we're doing, like you would normally. And then you can write on this the different dimensions that you need that you're going to input. So I might do like 36. And this one I might do 48. And I know that this is 27. I don't need the 18. I need the 20. All my dimensions are there then. 85 by 27. 85 by 110. I'm looking at this and then I can simplify and say, okay, the other things I need, I don't need these dimensions. I don't even need this view. Don't need this. Don't need this. I'm looking at 66 for the first one, 50 for the second, and 33 for the third. Or whatever is the last feature that is in here. Because if I do another sketch right now, and I do extrude, it's going to go to 66, which was the last one I input. So I can preset that up. Now, that only doesn't work if you're starting a completely new file, but we'll give that a go. Let's see. Give it a practice now. Not a practice, we'll give it a real go. Don't want to spend too long on the easy ones. The material type was ABS, so you are allowed to start the file. As long as there's no pre-made geometry in there, it's okay. So I can start the file and then I'm going to restart the clock. And because I'm going to go on top plane, I'm just going to get that view ready as well. So I'm on the top view. And now here we go. I'm going to reveal drawing and start. 3, 2, 1, top view. So 85 by 75. I'm doing it differently to what I just said before. 85 by 27. And then 36 by 110. And get my 2 circles. 20. Delete this one. Trim this one. Trim those. No. I've already stuffed up. That's okay. Now I'm going to extrude. 66 for this contour. And 33 for this one. And 50 for this one. And then my time, 396. 44 seconds. Not super fast, but that's enough for number 1 on the chart. Top 100, number 1. All right. Next model, tier 3. Does this have sheet metal tier 3? Here we go. I'll do a sheet metal one. Okay. So definitely with a sheet metal, I'm not as strong. And it's mostly because I don't really do a lot of sheet metal work. Do a lot more plastic moldings and that kind of thing. So a lot of the multi-body tools are what I use rather than this. Send pivot bracket. Good thing about sheet metal, you can do it with thin features or solid bodies. You don't have to use the sheet metal tools, so I do that sometimes. Let's start a new metal part. Plain carbon steel. And how are we going to approach this? Always look at the pink notes, the TOBY notes. Look at the difficult dimensions. In this example, it's probably on this side view where there are these slots. So you've got a slot top and bottom. They are symmetrical. So I could draw one and mirror it. I also like this front view. The whole thing is symmetrical, so you could do half. Do half. It's a smart way to go about it. Is my stream still there? All right, it's there. Good. Cool. All right, so yeah, let's model it first, like we do, and then come back and refine. So, hey, rock crawler, nice to see you. Okay, so do we do the side profile first? Say maybe yes. So we'll just draw the shape. And this could be the number of ways we could do this. We might go 166 here to our circle, which has a radius of 25. Then we're going up at a tangent, across and down. That's going to be vertical. Put our dimensions in. 33. We'll put this hole in for 30. And the whole total height 105. The other thing we can put on here are the slots. We're going to do a straight slot that is going up. It doesn't tell you. I've got the full height of it. Now the width is 10, which means the radius is 5. So it should be a 12, up, enter, and then out, 10, enter. I think that's correct. That'll be 17 from here to the tip, as you can see. And then if I put a line here, just depends, what's quicker? Probably just drawing the slot. Dimension of the slot, 45 from the edge. Yeah, I think that's a good point. That's a good point. Slots with a cut. You kind of can't do them after because of the geometry around here, this bend. So you've got to put the bend in. You've got a straight edge on one side and a bend radius on the other side. If you don't have the cut, you can't quite create that detail. You have, there's probably a process or workflow to go through and do that, but 6 mil inside radius, 4 mil thickness. Put the bend in on the edge flange. Yeah, but I don't understand. You're just saying just do the flat face, then do the cut. So what you're suggesting is basically do this. If we want to mirror it, that makes it even more trickier to do fast because I'm not in the right spot. That's why maybe doing the sketch from another view is a better idea. We just close that sketch. So if we're going the front view, sorry, not the front view. Let's just change this around. Let me do the front view here and let me do this. So 105 by 65. And we can do, then what we can do is, what's the gap between them? It's 42. Bring that back, make that 42. Can't do it like that. Split 42. Make these two for construction. Sheet metal. Will this work? Thickness 4. Reverse direction. Internal radius 6. Length 166 plus 25. We could do this. Mm, 65, 105, 42. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm doing. But by doing it this way, I can then mirror later on that right plane. So now I have to get rid of, though, these bends. Yeah, this is not a good one. Not a good one for me. Slot comes down, let's say 12, out 10, position 45, construction line, mirror through all. So how do I get rid of that bend now? They have to be straight. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'd almost rather do it as a thin feature. Do this, do extrude, thin feature, 4 millimeters, 66 plus 25. Do that. Then on this one, do my cut. That's going to be 166. Tangent. 33. 30. My slot. Could do it this way. 12 by 10. 45. I'd say, yeah, you can do it and send it to me. No problem. This is kind of what the practice models are all about, working out different ways of doing things. So I've got this now. I can select these contours and cut through all. And then I've got that radius there. I missed that contour at the bottom, that one. And then I wonder if we can use a delete. Or I could just use a split. I just go, oh, don't use split, cut part to remove those. Convert to sheet metal. Thickness is 4, internal radius is 6. All right, so we're getting there. Then we've got a couple of radiuses and holes on those top bits. So you can use break corner. They have radius 9, so I can go 2 there. I want to get some holes in this one. They are 10mm holes, 25 apart. And how much from the edge? 77 from the middle. Divided by 2. 10 mils are here. Make that vertical. Just want to go blind link thickness. Easy. Is that everything? And then mirror. Yeah, sheet metal needs you to select a face on the body to mirror, which is annoying. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2 for the result. Okay, we've got the right answer. We just need to speed up the process. Let's get a picture and save, and then we'll refine. Okay. So on this, how can we refine this? How can we do it quicker? I think our process here is okay. It's a little bit slow doing this convert to sheet metal, but in a workflow such as this, it's not too bad. Now, I'd say really wants me to show what he's done. Let's see if I can open it. Here we go. Let's have a look. So you can see my version on the bottom and Artse is on the top here. So the difference, sheet metal. Do you have the right answer? 1212. Yep. SolidWorks 22. Yeah, all good. We've got 23. So I'd say starts with C shape. So same as mine, just a slightly different sketch. Okay, I can speed that up, definitely. Base flange. How far do you go with the base flange? 45. Makes sense. And then a tab. Fillet. Okay, yep. 17 down, 2 fillets. Yep, that's pretty quick. How'd you do this? Full round fillet? Just select the edges, easy. Break corner for the radiuses. Sketches. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to do the cut. Oh, I was almost thinking, is it in the middle of that? Yeah, because you could do like a midpoint rectangle, boom, and then your 2 holes, might be quicker. So midpoint rectangle would be 25 by 77. Pretty close either way. And then mirror. Yeah. All right, say, how fast can you do that? Do you think I can beat that? Look at this minute, 1 minute from MotQuest. Oh, that's too fast. MinWhatTex, 3 minutes. It's more reasonable. Community videos, no community tutorials. A couple of practice models. All right, so the numbers. 42, 105, 65. We go 45, we do the tab, follow the dimensions, do the fillets, do the break corners, do the holes mirror. Okay. Should be easy. Let's just save this one first, then we'll give it a go. And there's a plain carbon steel millimeters part. All right, let's have a crack at beating that time. I don't expect to get under a minute, but I do expect to get around 3 minutes. What do we say it was? Plain carbon steel. All right. We start on the front plane. Three, two, one. Let's go. So front. 65 by 105 by 42. Now we're going sheet metal. Distance is 45, right? Thickness, bend, reverse direction. So it's inside. And what was next? The tab. So we're coming across, up, across, down, radius, cross, up, there, join. We've got to dimension it. Probably lose a lot of time doing this. Origin to here. 66, what was this, 17? 10. Make these two collinear equal and 33. 30 for the hole. Tab. Join. Fillets. 5. This is going to slow me down. Bad selecting methods. Okay, fillets done. Break corner, 9. Holes. What do we say it was? 25 by 77. 2 holes that are 10. Extrude cut into thickness. Select the face, mirror, body, merge, 12, 12. Not too bad. Window, select the fillet, same view as the sketch, it is faster. Yeah. Just feel like so I want to go fillet, window view, no good. I'm getting the face. Yeah, I don't like it. But maybe would have saved me 20 seconds. I'm still a bit slow. 2 minutes though, quite reasonable. All right, that is good for sheet metal. Let's move on. Tier 4 model next. We'll do a Tier 4 model, then we'll do one from the tournament. Because there were some that I thought were really good and I want to have a crack at. So, and I think we're doing pretty well. We're doing okay for time. Not great. Not doing sheet metal. Well, let's do this one. This looks fun. New part. Click to begin. Reveal and open. Okay. Symmetrical, yeah. Millimeters in ABS. All right, so front. There's a few ways of creating this. Obviously, there's obviously going to be a few ways. Quickest way to approach it. Maybe top view. It's all offset 7 mil, those walls. So you do that with a thin feature. Do a lot of this with thin features. And then fillets. I wonder if it's quicker to do a quarter of the model. Which means I do it from the origin, right? So the outside radius, I do the outside radius, which would be outside radius 60 and then 65. And I could do a line here. Trim, no. Trim like that. There's my shape. And I'm going to extrude. And what's the thickness? I believe it's 7. Just trying to see if I can see that in a dimension somewhere. So I go 7, but I'm going in. And I'm going to do a quarter, which means my direction 1 is going to be half of the 60, which is 30. I wonder if this will be quick. A swept boss. I know, mate. Don't know about that. Done that one. Oh, here's, actually, I think this is the way to do it. You do the inside line, the one that's in the middle, maybe. Oh, man. Or I should do double the thickness. So it's 14. Yeah. Just you wait. Just you wait. I think we could do it like this. 7 by 7. Will this work? Swept cut. Like that. And then our hole. So this would be a hole wizard. This is a countersunk with head clearance, which is a counterbore. The counterbore being 3. Custom sizing is 12 by 25. And then position. So then we're going mirror, bodies, secondary face plane here, merge. Is that right? Yeah. How's that? How is that? I like that model. I thought I'd like this one. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Probably could spend a lot of time trying to get it even quicker. But we're not going to do too many options of it because there are other things that we want to do. We'll save a picture and move on to a speed model attempt. I think the swept cut is really neat on this. I'd be really happy if I pulled that out in a tournament. Yeah. I was thinking that you could do the extrude, you could do the middle one, and then you could extrude one way and then another, but you still have to cut off that end. Doing the quarter though, that's really pretty neat, pretty quick. So now we speed up that process. I don't know if there's much we could really get more efficient than this. Like that sketch is very fast. Maybe if we could do the sketch without having to trim away. So we just do the arc and the line. If there's a quick way of doing that, would be pretty good. Quickest time, Wolfman 2:28 to 2:30. Rich Pen 3 minutes. I've done this. Oh, look, my first attempt I was 6th, but we've got 2 minutes to beat. So let's just get the number right. 60 by 30. So if we're trying this again, what are we on the top plane? We want to go arc. Yeah. I think I just want to start it from here. I think it doesn't matter. So if we go 65 and then we come and get an arc happening, 30. And then we just got to get those two horizontal, and then we can do everything from there. It doesn't matter that we're not on the mid plane when we're mirroring because we're just using the faces to do it anyway. Okay. So 65, 60, extruding thin, up 30, out 14, a fillet on the outside of 30, cut sweep with a square, which is 7 by 7, and then the hole, and then the mirror to finish. All right, let's have a go at a fresh one. This could be really quick if I don't muck around. It was ABS millimeters. Okay, and let's start again. Top plane, doesn't matter. Top, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. $65, radius 30, click, get these two in line. Thin feature is going 14 mil that way, 30 that way. And then we're going to go radius 30 here. Then on this one, 7 by 7. I have to close the sketch before doing a swept cut, which is the most annoying part. Selecting that edge. Okay. Hole wizard. This should have saved. And then we mirror. We mirror body 1. Select the right box. 2. Okay. 1 minute. Submit. No one's beating that for a little while. Would have liked to get under a minute, but that is a really neat one. Very happy with that. Let's move on. So I want to show one of the tournament models. It was good to see another Aussie in the tournament. Thank you, I'd say. So out of these models, it was this one, the macro button housing. I think I could do the fastest. I'll show you the model, the way that I did this. And then I'll recreate it. So I think I noticed in the stream, the guy's mucking around a bit with the pattern and probably doing the whole of the body. So let me just bring that up. Of course, disclaimer, I know in the when somebody's in the tournament, it is bloody hard. So yeah, you got to come up with a solution very fast. I think this one, it was this one here. Just watch the ads. We'll just see how the guys did it. It was about here. Yeah. So you see both are done like the full model and try and do the whole pattern, like all of them. It would be much quicker just to do what we've been doing here, just do a section like this. That was probably the main thing that slowed down some guys. I can see Ex Machina here as well doing the radiuses. So like when I did this, I stuffed up a little bit on this cut because I couldn't see the right dimensions, but yeah, you set that up correctly. It's a very quick pattern. A couple of dimensions, you cut that and then you're mirroring the rest. So let's have a go at this one. I'll show you my process for it. And then we'll come back. We'll get back into the practice models. So I'll just bring up a screenshot of that speed run, which is here. Okay, so this is the one that we're having a go at. So the way to attempt it, see the symmetry, that's the surefire sign now to break it up into one corner section. Hello, Matab. Thanks for jumping in. So it is a millimeter alloy, aluminium alloy. Now it starts very simply. We start on the top plane, but we're only going to do a corner section. So we can look at the outside dimensions of 88 and that becomes 44. And then 116 divided by 2, we get that section. And then we can put in straight away the outside radius, which is 9, to get that corner. And then extrude that up 20. Okay, and that's done, you know, the starting point of this whole thing. Very, very quick first model. Now it's got a constant wall thickness of 3. So you can see wall thickness, typical 3. So we're going to shell 3 millimeter and get rid of these 3 faces. It's at this point then that we can put in the hole. Now what's interesting about the hole and the dimension, so you can see on this view here, it's got the diameter of the hole at this face of 6. So we don't want to draw the hole on this face, we want to draw it here. So I'm going to do a sketch on this face. Now the hole is it's got a specific dimension, 77 by 98, but I'm pretty sure it's just on the center point of this. And we can check that by just putting a dimension in here. That would be, 49 times 2 is 98. Or from this one, 35 times 2 is 70. So that's the right position. So we put that circle there. We're going to extrude then. Go up to surface and draft out. It's got 8 degrees, but it's 8 degrees both sides, so 4 degrees out and merge. And then another hole on the top, which is 3. Extrude that down 10 millimeters. Okay, and now you've got that hole in place. And so the last thing before the mirror we need to do is get the pattern done. Now the pattern was done in the TOBY notes, 16 by 16 with R2 corners. So you can do 16 by 16, get your fillet tool, put 2mm corners in, and then we want to pattern this, and the pattern spacing you can see is the 18 by 18. So we're going to put in 18, and we want to go 3 of these, and here we want to go 18, but 2, just make sure it's going down, press OK, and then the gap. So the gap between these is going to be 2 millimeters, right? So the gap between the center one here is going to be 1. And this one, you can actually just grab one of those points and put it on that line if it wants to snap to it like that. And we grab this line, make sure that that's vertical, and we cut using that pattern. And that should be all we need to do for the model. We can then mirror, secondary face, and I believe that's the answer, 100.7. You're right, I'd say. Yes, you could just do the 20. Just reverse direction and press OK would be quicker. There was one other thing, one other model trick from the these runs that I worked out. It took me a few minutes, but yeah, cool, I'd say. The real part model that Toby had, I'll just find up. I'll see. I want to ask if anyone knows how to do one specific detail on this one. Does anyone know how to do the hole spacing on the bottom? I will show you this trick for this. This was a really fun one to work out. So, if anyone knows the answer, let me know before I get to it. I'm going to show you how to do this model too, and then we'll move back to the practice models. So, millimeters ABS. I'm going to start on a top plane, and this is a simple slot. Center point straight slot out. The dimension of this, fortunately, it's the outside dimension. So we want to get in like that, 85. Change this to 56. Curve-driven pattern equal spacing. Yes, that is the way to do it. You have to get a curve there first, but once you get the curve, it is pretty straightforward. So 9.8 for this. It has a radius of 5. And on the bottom, it's a cut, but it's offset. So you can do offset 6 millimeters, and then extrude cut 2.8 off the surface. And then you can put a radius here of the 2. So that's the bottom section. And then for the top section, I saw the guys struggling a bit with this one. Again, under time pressure, I understand what it's like. So the way you want to do it is just with a couple of sketches here. You want to make sure that these are perpendicular. Make sure then that you have the required dimension and angle. So these are going to be 45. And we want to do this so that we can get all our dimensions in place. As in that point there, 66. This one, 35. And then the the one that you need here is another construction line here. Make it perpendicular. Having a line there lets you dimension from the line to this point to get the 54. With that done, you can make them for construction. And then this is a neat little trick here. We're going to do swept boss base, circular profile, 35 for the diameter, make it a thin feature, give it the wall thickness, which is 2.8, do it inside, change the options to align with end faces. Here's the trick. You're supposed to do this before you do the cut. So let me just bring it up here. So now align with end face, it's gonna put it in the right spot. Make that the right direction. And then you can delete face, or you can just go, I think it's easier to just extrude cut. Like that, but not that way. Oops. How did I do it in the last one? What do we do? Cut. Oh, you put the circle on the end. That's right. So you go, the circle has to be on this face here, convert, and then cut through all. Okay. Yeah, I just had the sketch on this flat face down here. So now the hole spacing. Second model, well, I haven't seen them on my live. I'll get to that after we do the last two practice models, if we got time. So there's a few things we want to do here. The first is we want to get one hole in the right place. So I'm putting a hole here that's 3, and the hole depth is 4. And then we need a curve for the pattern to follow around. To create a curve, there's a few ways of doing it. I'm going to offset by 3 millimeters, a sketch, and then I'm going to turn the sketch into a composite curve. And then I'm going to use those to do a curve-driven pattern. 20 instances, equal spaced, press OK. And I believe that's the way that'll be the right answer then, 34.4. Pretty sure. Yeah. All right, so that remembered my settings from the other day, 20 mil spacing. Very neat trick and model. Tube, 3-point rectangle, dimensioned it, revolved it, merged both with intersect. Yep. That's cool too. What trickery was the circular sweep? So when you do a sweep in a tab, even though I've just got a line there, I can use circular profile and I can use thin feature in the one thing. So that creates the wall thickness. Now I could avoid doing that thin feature and just do a normal solid sweep and then cut the hole too. That works and probably be a little bit quicker. Okay. Back to the practice models. We're up to a tier 5 model. Not completed. Tier 5. How to go up to surface? There's a box that you can tick that says align end faces. All right, tier 5, we've got lots of models to select from. We're just going to go with the first one. And click to begin. Reveal. I think this is a multi-body. So this should be a nice one for me. I like to pick one of the materials that it has. I'll pick the aluminium. And then to start on something like this, I'd have a look at the TOBY notes. So the rods, 9x65, there's 3 of those. The holes are bigger by 0.5 millimeter on the outside, but 1 millimeter in length. Yeah. And then I guess that, yeah, when we're looking at that front view, you want to do a bunch of this in symmetry. So what you might start with is the front view here, 20 by 250. Something like this, a model like this, a lot of holes, a lot of solids. I think you just want to get straight into it as fast as you can. Don't need to muck around. As long as you understand where things are like touching. This side view is quite important. We can do that pretty quickly. So yeah, this is interesting. I just want to make sure that the metal, the frame, is the same height as the shelf. I think it is. And it goes right to that edge, but it's a little bit longer. The frame sits outside it. The frame's 5/16, and it's also got a curve to it. So we could go on the back view here, and I'd probably sketch something like this. Get this and this. I think they're equal. 20, 20, yep, equal. And so I want to get the full height of the frame, which is 90. And then the thickness of that frame, it's 4 millimeters. Now I'm going to unmerge, very important there, unmerge. The frame's not hard. The frame is not hard. Now it does have a little tab that sits on the outside. That's one bit that I missed. I'd come back to this sketch. So it's got a bit there that comes down like this. I want to put that in. 90. 20. Yep, that's still 20. And this is the bit that's 5/16 divided by 2. With these kind of models, you don't need to be super fast. You just need to be accurate and get it done the right first time. In my experience, I think that's where people have had difficulty. So from a top view, has it got an 8 mil thickness? I think it does. So we want to come out, and we can just go up to here, make that for construction. This has a 108 mil length, and the outside radius is 18. I would shell half the frame and then cut twice that hole in rods. I don't know if you need to shell anything on this one. This bit's 8 with a thin feature, so 8 is the thickness, if I'm understanding that dimension correctly, with a 20 mil length coming down, merging with this bracket. And then we need the holes. I'm just trying to look in. See you, Rock. Thanks for stopping by. So the holes are 6 by 5 through 10 by 90. They're countersunk holes. There's 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the holes are in the front of this. So we want to get the holes in here. I'm going to change to the countersunk, remove that head clearance, change this to 5 by 10, and work out the positions. There's only going to be 3. One, 2, 3. I've got to dimension them. So it's in the middle. Probably change this to hidden line view. It's 13 from the top. And then that's going to be on this edge here. Okay, that's defined. And these ones are 140 apart. So 70, 70. Sorry, that one's 140. And it's aligned to the middle point here. Right, so those are my holes, 3 countersunk holes. And then we've got the rods that are sticking out. And they are 9 by 65. And it's 175 across. I've got 2 holes here. Center point to center point, horizontal, and then dimension. 175. Extrude 65. Now, because this is isolated from the other body, I can leave merge result on, and it's only going to merge with what's currently visible. That's why using isolate with multibody is really strong. How do I know 140 is for the countersinks? See the pink notes here? All these pink notes on this front view relate to the countersunk holes. I can see it says 6x, which means 6 by. Okay, so 6x holes, it's pointing to the hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 on each side. Whereas for the prongs or the rods, there's only 3 of those. So it wouldn't say 3 by. And so for that reason, the pink notes, I see the 140, and that's how I know that distance. All right, so I think this is all of this model done. We can exit isolate, and probably the easiest way to then do the holes for the rods is to use these points here. Use the rod points and make 10-meter holes, 10-millimeter holes, like that, and then extrude cut 66. For this one, we have to make sure we select the right body. Okay, so then we've got the bigger hole that's got the clearance. Now we can mirror. I think we're done with the model. Mirror that body, mirror this one. We'll find out in a second. I'll apply materials. So the shelf needs to be, I don't have the red oak in my favorite materials, so that's going to slow me down a little bit. Yeah, that's annoying. Woods. Damn. Just hold on a sec. I'm just going to temporarily start a red oak file so I can get the material and manage favorites. Where is red oak? Red oak? Oh, come on. Close. Edit material. Plastic. Temporary database. No. I want to save red oak. I want to move it to here. Can I do that? Let me just add it to favorites. Copy, woods. I hate doing this material stuff. Cannot move up. Copy. Because it won't let me add into there. Okay, custom materials. I have to paste it into here. And then let me add it to favorites. And then let's go close. Yep, that's fine. Manage favorites. Red oak. Select add. Oh, it says plastic. Man. Up, 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 up. Oh well, that'll do. Close this part. So now I can see, make this material. It says custom materials. That's pretty annoying. I won't even, has it even worked? I don't know. This one is going to be aluminium. Material, custom materials. Nope. Okay. That's going to slow me down a lot. Sorry about that. Red oak. Save. Okay. Custom plastic. Delete. Close. Yes. Okay. Material. Manage favorites. Red oak. Add. Move up. This one. Remove. This one. Remove. Close. Material. Red oak. Now the materials are applied. What is my answer? I'd say you're wrong. Sorry, mate. You maybe got your materials wrong. The answer is 1012. Submit. And let's get a picture. Nice. All right. Top 100. 6 minutes is our time to beat. I think we can do that. Guys, any questions about this one? I think it's pretty straightforward. I don't think there's any way we can really fitness the frame. Yep. Yeah, you can get lost on some of the dimensions. But look, you keep it really simple. 20 by 250. And then we've got this shape here. 258 wide, 90 high, 20 by 20. Top shape. 108, 108 with a radius of 18, 8 mil thick. Get the countersunk holes in the right spot. Get the rods in the right spot, cut them, and then mirror both. And just don't make any mistakes with merging and apply the right materials. You're done. Let's save it. Then we will move on and have a speed attempt. Floating shell. So 6 minutes is the target. Let's start with alloy and quick drink. What's the difference between isolate and hiding? Isolate, it's temporary. It's much easier. Let me just open this one to show you. So I've got isolate key bound to my I key. So if I select the body here, I can isolate. So I've just isolated that body, and then I can press exit isolate and everything else comes back. When you isolate as well, you can also change, like if things are transparent or hidden. But it's just quick. If I hide the body, then I have to go and show it again. I don't have a keybound shortcut for show all bodies. And I find that process a lot slower. Okay. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. So front view. 20 by 250. Stuffed up already. 250. Extrude 96. We could probably do the holes right now. It would be quicker. So it's 10. Make these holes equal. Put these holes 175 apart. And make sure they're horizontal. Extrude cut. What are the holes? 66. Okay, we might be able to use that later. So then I'm going to do this sketch here. So I'm going all the way across, up, up, down, across, down. I want that and that to be equal. I want this dimension to be 90. I want this to be 20. And I want this to be, what was it, 516 divided by 2. And then that is going to equal 4. And I'm going to uncheck merge result. And then on the top view, this one, I'm going to draw this shape that's coming down, across, and across. Make that for construction. Make this length 108. Put a radius of 18 in the corner. And then extrude with a thin feature that is 8 going in and then down 20. 20? Yeah, 20. Just going to make sure I get the right dimension, merge with the right body. Okay, that's good. Now the countersunk holes. So we've already got the hole wizard set up. So we just need to select our positions, which was 1, 2, 3, like that. And then I want to go midpoint, get those lined up. Change the dimension. That one's 70. This one is 140. This one is on this line here, and it is 13 from the top. Press the tick. And then I want to get that. These ones done. Where's the hole? It is here. 9. Extrude these. 65. exit isolate. And then we can mirror this body, merge that one, mirror this body, merge, apply materials. That one is the red oak. This one is the alloy. Answer 1012. $330, not bad. Now, indent. I don't think you can use indent on this one because the difference between the two sizes is different. That was one of the first things I looked at. The rod is 9 by 65, the hole is 10 by 66. When you use indent, you can change the offset. You can make it a perfect size, or you can offset it. Now, if you're trying to offset by 1 millimeter to get the extra length, you're also going to offset from this entire face. So that's going to eat into the material of the shelf. It doesn't work. Or you offset 0.5 millimeter for the sides of the rod. It just doesn't work in this example. Great question though. I'm very happy with that model. Let's try a tier 6, and then if we've got time, we can have a look at whatever else you guys would like to suggest. Not completed. No tier 7s. Tier 6, 3 models. And so we go. Machined part. Thank you, Matab. Appreciate it. All right. The symmetry on this, so we could do half. We probably will do half. I would like this model as a tier 6. I don't think it's too difficult. I think we get a lot of the detail on this side view. So I'd start with those holes straight away. 40, 25. There is one over here that is 11 and 24. Get these in line. Get this in line, and then there's tangent. Yep. We can use the top plane to mirror, and I'm going to put another line here. And let's get some dimensions in place. Wow. And then from the side view, can we do this one? Probably. 60. How do we want to sketch this one? We could probably do the 53. I think we'd just do it like that, and then we do the rest of the detail on a separate element. So this one, like, that's the sketch, the basic sketch, and then we're breaking this up into sections. So the first section is this one at the front. So let's select that. Now let's do half. So we can see it's 65. So we're going to select this contour and go 65 divided by 2. Just put that out there. The bit in the middle is 10. We'll do that last. We'll do the long section, which is 100. So we make that 50. 10, so that becomes 5. This one here, we've got a radius of 15. So what I'd probably want to do is put that radius on there and do a shell on this one. I missed the face. I want to shell this face as well. All right, so then that front detail is done. Then we got that circle. Then we got the rib in between. So now it's all merged together, half the body. And then this line, I can do, the middle section is 10. So what I can do is just select that edge, do a thin feature, mid-plane, 10. And how wide is it? It is 20 wide. I can merge result. Now that's the bottom section of it. So then I have to do the top section, but I can use this face and I can do the circles. So I'm going to go like this and like this. And then this is going to go 15 one way, or I could even go 20 and then offset 5. We'll see if this will be right in the end. I think it will. I've just got to clear then some faces. So there might be a way to use some other tools to do this a bit quicker, but delete face is pretty fast. Model mirror 407. Did I type it in right? No, 407. I've got no idea if that would work, Jen, but check it out. Okay. Yep, using the draft. I use draft regularly for some of the trickier angles. This was pretty quick for a tier 6. I don't think it's that hard. I think it's more like a tier 5 model. Let's submit that and see how other people have done this. Top 100. Yeah, so I got second already. Moto there, 418 and on shape, pretty fast. No community tutorials, so yeah, we'll share this one later. Tough part for you, might want to check it out sometime, 24/12/07. All right, cool. Well, we might have a look at that next. I think we've got time for maybe 1 or 2 more models after this. I haven't done a speed run of tier 6 for a little while, so. Okay, Jen, makes sense. All right, so could we clean up this process on this file? I think maybe not. Like that sketch was pretty minimal. Not a lot there that I could really trim out or simplify. The process to do this front section, very fast. Like the shell's very quick. And then I'm using the contours to get these extrudes out. And then doing this section, I think doing it like that, just having the line and building off that is pretty quick too. And delete face, everyone loves a delete face to finish off. So I'm pretty happy with that one. And we'll have a go now at making it fast. Just get a photo. No real view for that one. And save. I've already done it before. Yeah. No wonder it came easy. Let's see if I did it the same way last time. When did I do it? Earlier this month. I must have seen it somewhere and had a go. You can see in this one I've done it completely differently. Quite interesting. Similar sketch, but I did a larger rectangle for that back section. For screenshot, I just used Windows snipping tool. This one, nothing fancy, it's built in. Very good, Jen. So, yeah, how I did it in this example, I started with the tube, did the front, filtered, shelled. So I didn't do mirror in this one. So yeah, it might be quicker. Another way of doing it. But I'm pretty happy with this. So yeah, let's have a go, see how fast we can do it. I think we can aim for 3 minutes on this one. ShareX, yeah. There's another one that I've used before that I've downloaded, and like there's a few built into Windows. I think there was another more advanced one, but I've ended up just going to this. It's just so easy, and the timer good for if I need to show anything that's got like a rollover function or something like that. Okay. All right, let's have a go at speed run here. So we're aiming for millimeters alloy, aiming for under 3 minutes. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, just want to be quick on the sketches, but it's not a good way to start. 25, 40, 24, 11. Let's get the long one done first, 120. Vertical. Already I've made a few mistakes. It's slowing me down, but we'll keep going. I don't think it needs to stop the run. $53, 60. All right, let's have a go now. So 65 divided by 2. Let's do our radiuses, and we'll do the shell of this. Select tangency. Too thin. 10. And back to this. Extrude 50 for this one. Extrude 5 for this one. Extrude this thin feature, mid plane 10, and coming out 20. And we're going outside, and we're going 20. We're going to go extrude 20, offset 5, reverse the direction, delete faces to finish off, and then mirror. Whoa. Mirror the body, 407, 221. Pretty good. Use print screen button, then Windows R, MS Paint. Yeah, cool. That's a quick time for a tier 6. Very nice. All right. I got time for maybe one request. The tab. You want the one from the Model Monday Live? I can find it. I haven't watched the live stream yet, so I can show you exactly how I would go about it. This one, did you say the second model? The first or the second one? $18 minutes. Okay. Second model. All right. Let's give it a go. First comment. Why not using SolidWorks anymore? Where's the challenge? It's not that model. It'll be. Oh, it would be the live one on the website, right? This one? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny, Jan. It's pretty funny how there's the CAD variety competition because the last comp was just everyone using SolidWorks. Cool, Gummy. Well, is this the one? All right. I'm gonna find it here. So try wheel with draft. Okay, let's go. I'll do it on the website here. So it's this one, MCGA, doing it in 1:47. Tier 4. All right, let's give it a go. I have not seen it. We'll just see what we can do. ABS. Lots of pink notes. 5 mil down to start a rib. 8 mil down. Rib draft begins from this face. Rib and slot space evenly. Section view. Yeah, that last model I did was tier 6 is a tier 5, and this is not a tier 4. This is a tier 5. Trying to understand the section view. I think I can see all the way through. Drafts are fine. I'm just trying to picture the best way of doing this, whether you're trying to do, so all this detail here in this top view, let me just make this bigger. We'll just talk about this one before we start it. Do a screenshot. Screenshot tool is behind it. Hold on. So close that. All right. Everything that's in this section here, like all this draft, you kind of ignore that for the, I think for the revolve. What you want to look at is this is the center line here. So, and this is the rib. So I want to ignore that. So more what I want to draw is actually like this edge. Draw that profile, revolve the whole thing. That's then the bottom and the outside shape. And the hole in the middle. So you've got to make sure that you've got this gap, this 30 gap and this draft angle here. What makes it really tricky, I find this sort of model too, is that section view should be on, like it's normally lying down, that would be down here. It would make a lot more sense. So section BB is through the middle of the rib, so that shows you the rib. Because the rib starts high and finishes low, 8 mil start, 5 mil start at the bottom, and it's curved, it's an arc. The rib's got a radius. So you definitely got to do that using the proper rib tool. Yeah. He's doing what he has to do to fit it on the page. I understand. You get the 260 OD dimension for that, the 60 for that, and the 90 just tells you that there's a little straight corner on the bottom. So you do that profile, do the revolve. That's got a lot of the draft in it already. You then, on one view, you do the rib. So you do the rib next, and then on your top view, you do one of these slots with the dimensions that it's given you, and cut through the slots, rib and slot spaced evenly, 3 places. Yeah, so you do one rib, you do one slot, then you do a circular pattern with 3 instances. I want to know, is the slot's drafted as well? Yeah, 6-degree draft. Yeah. So look, there's quite a lot to it, but in the end, you've got revolve is your first thing, and then you got a rib, and then you got a hole, and then you got a pattern. You break it down, there's 4 steps, 4 sketches. That should be everything. So it's not incredibly difficult, like challenging, but not crazy. So I'm just going to start again, the timer, and bring this back in. Let's have a go. So front plane, construction line, and then we're immediately starting with a draft that goes out and up and across, down, out, up, across, down, straight, back to the origin. Right, that's our sketch. We can use this to set the overall dimension, which is 260. That's going to give us our scale right off the bat. Our flat section, straight section, it says 10. And then height of this one is 40. And it's got a 6-degree draft on the outside. The middle section was 60. The draft on the inside, 6 degrees. And the hole, 30. Flat face at the top, 10. Draft angle here, 12. I've already got it because those are parallel. I didn't do that on purpose. That's just worked out that way. I think this straight section aligns with this. And we've got 10 millimeters here. And again, that's already got parallel as well. So that's our shape. Revolve. Feature tree short, and that was the reason for rating tier 4. Fair enough. All right, that's our basic shape. Now we'll go on the right plane. So doing this rib is a bit tricky, but the trick that I would like to use here is the intersection tool. So intersection, curves. I'm just going to delete those 2 and make these 2 for construction. Because then I can grab my arc tool, give that radius, which is 220, give the height, now the height 5 mil down, it's saying, so from here to here is 5. And then in the middle, it's saying it's 8. And then the rib thickness is 16 at the bottom with a 6-degree draft. That bit's difficult. I would just do rib with no draft and make it 16. Get this funny thing happening right on those edges. That's okay. The thing with like when I pattern this 6-degree, when I draft these faces, draft for whatever reason doesn't always work the nicest in SolidWorks when you're doing a pattern. So I'm going to circular pattern here, 360, 3 of those. If I go feature, I go rib and draft. It doesn't even include the draft feature. So it just skips it. That's very annoying. If I check geometry pattern, then it includes it. It's just frustrating. All right, so we're all above that. And now do my slot. Now the slot hole size. Actually think we want to do it on the top plane. So not this face, but the top plane. And SolidWorks has a center point arc slot, which makes this very easy. So this becomes 50. This goes in line with the origin. If I can get it there, I might have to just draw a line to get that vertical. The width of the slot is 40, and the radius of the center point of the slot doesn't give us. It'll be 75. And then we do extrude cut through all, draft outwards, and 6 degrees. Okay. Then we roll down the pattern and edit that to include the cut. That could be it. 943. There we go. Doesn't have true sketch constraints not added because it would be, yeah. Fair enough, Jen. Yeah. Added your pressure, you use multi-body modeling for the rib pattern. Yep. Yeah. Very frustrating. That could be. Yeah, 5 minutes. It's pretty neat. I like the model. It's not that hard. Yeah, tier 4, tier 5. I think is fair enough. Try wheel with draft. Cool. I'm glad we got that right first time. Thanks, Matab. Submit that time. And we had, for the quickest time, MCGA, minute 47. We're okay, 5 minutes. Koska very quick too, and Shiorad 31 seconds. I don't think that counts. All right, that'll do for tonight. Went over 2 hours. We did how many models? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 models. Not bad. Yeah, so we'll end it there. Mike, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. And Matab, yeah, SolidWorks #1, am I? Oh, you got this guy here. He's pretty fast. Appreciate that, guys. I'll yeah, stay tuned to see the competition later in the week. I watched the replays. It's a bit early for me, 4 AM. Well done to James getting the win in that last one. I know what that's like, being up at 2 a.m. to do those models. So yeah, appreciate that. More LEGO series coming soon, and have a good one. See everyone. Bye.